Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Bean and welcome to my channel, and today we have some new beta leaks from Regent, so shout out to his Discord server. Someone posted this, and yeah, basically it's found in the beta app. TENSURA collaboration units with their passive skills and ultimate moves. And yeah, just quick disclaimer though, since it is the beta app or beta version of Grand Cross, this is not confirmed whatsoever. This is just leaks and it can change. So if it does happen though, they'll probably be the same units, but just maybe they'll switch around their passives, like a bit of tweaking and stuff. But if this turns out to be true, then this right here is the next collaboration. Again though, we don't know that, but it's nice. It's kind of cool to think that. So yeah, it should be a really interesting one. We're going to be going over their entire skill sets, passive and ultimate moves for 3 characters. That could be the next collaboration. But yeah, before we get started though, huge thank you. You guys are absolutely insane. You guys have been killing it recently with the support on the channel. We're currently at 2,011 subscribers, so that means we hit over 2K subs. So again, honestly, thank you so much. Support has been off the charts recently. Really appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, we're currently on the road to 3K subs now, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And also consider leaving a like on the video if it does help you out. Or I mean, if you like the leaks, that is, because yeah, it should be a good, cool one. But let's just get right into it. It's possible a rerun with TENSURA, although it's possible to have another collaboration with Netflix. If it's with TENSURA, the characters could, yeah, see, look, keywords, could be RIMURU Tempest, VELDORA Tempest, and SHION, I believe. SHION, I believe that's how you say it. I know who that is. That just, I can't pronounce her name right now. I'll share the skills, but remember, units never come out with beta skills, as with ReZero. So, this kind of turns me off a bit. Basically, because with ReZero, they never did receive skills like this, like in detail. We just had their, like, I guess, their names. So, this could mean it's not a collab, or maybe a future collab for, like, another date and time, not now, or, like, in the coming month or two. But it could be, though. But, okay, let's take a look at them. RIMURU Tempest honestly looks to be the best unit in my opinion. Let me know once we go out over all 3 of them who you think is the best one out of these 3 concepts. I'm gonna call them concepts because again, they're not confirmed whatsoever. They're just like what ifs, what ifs I should say. But all right, RIMURU Tempest. He's probably the most interesting one and spicy one in my opinion. But let's see why that is. Race is unknown. His passive is really cool. For every demon ally in battle, so you already know what that means, more AMLE support if this is true, decreases HP stats and defense stats of all enemies by 6%. And I don't know if that means just raw max HP and raw defense, or is this HP related stats? I'm pretty sure this is just HP and defense, because if it's related stats, then that's broken. Of all enemies by 6%. And for every unknown ally in battle, decreases attack stats of all enemies by 6%. In addition, the hero is also of demon race. So, although he is unknown, he has basically the Sigurd passive, where he counts as a Sigurd. He counts as a human and a demon at the same time. But for RIMURU, he would count as an unknown and a demon. So that means you can run him with a full demon team with AMLE, and his passive would work. So basically, if you use full demon team, including himself, he would count as a demon. That's 3 units in the front. It says every ally in battle, so I'm going to assume that it's on the field. So if it's on the field, you will decrease all of their HP stat and defense stats by, 18%. So that's actually really nice. And I don't know if he would also trigger this unknown passive of his, or effect of his passive, because he's also unknown. I guess we'll see if he ever does release. But there's that. His skill 1 is actually kind of broken. It's rank ups. Increases skill ranks of all allies and increases HP related stats by 20% for 3 turns. I'm assuming these are probably their like gold versions of the cards, because if these are the bronze, then this is kind of broken. I'm assuming the same for the ultimate is also 1 out of 6. But let's see. Basically rank ups. So we finally have a rank up for melee, because you can't use growth there because he's unknown, and you need to run full demon team for AMLE's passive to work. So this will finally give us the opportunity to actually rank up units, or cards on AMLE teams, which would be really nice so we can get those gold cards. Skill 2. Inflicts damage equal to 250% of attack on all enemies, and depletes 3 ultimate move gauge orbs, so AoE drain, basically the same as like Blue Lilia. This is actually also, this is kind of broken. In addition, increases the hero's ultimate move gauge by the number of orbs depleted from the enemy's ultimate move gauge. So if you delete 5 orbs from the entire enemy total, you get full gauge. and you get his ult. And his ultimate seems to be broken as well. It inflicts damage equal to 300% of attack on all enemies and gains Abyss effect and takes 50% less damage for 2 turns. I'm assuming this is probably 1 out of 6. I'm pretty sure because King ult, I think his ultimate goes higher than 300% at 6 out of 6. But there we go. That's what Rimuru Tempest would look like. That's what his concept currently is. So if he does release into the game, this is potentially what he could look like. His build, that is. Alright, next is one of the top waifus in the series of Tensura or Slime. And it's Shion. I know who she is. I think I'll show you guys pictures of them after, but I can't really pronounce her name right now because I haven't seen. It's been a while since I've seen the series. I believe it's Shion or Shinon, but unknown race. The hero, her passive. The hero always inflicts attribute advantage damage and doesn't receive attribute disadvantage damage. So basically, you can deal type advantage damage to anyone, but you won't take type disadvantage. So that's actually really cool. That's a cool passive. I think it's the first one of its kind, if it were to happen, that is. For every skill used by the hero, heals 15% of damage dealt. It's actually pretty cool. I'm assuming by this, she probably isn't the most DPS heavy, because if she is like a DPS unit, then she'll basically heal a good amount of HP every turn. Alright, her skill 1. Inflicts power strike damage equal to 475% of attack on one enemy, so that would be her skill 1. Skill 2. Inflicts damage equal to 190% of attack on all enemies and makes targets bleed for 2 turns. AoE bleed card aren't usually the most DPS heavy. Her ultimate is inflicts shatter damage equal to 420% of attack on all enemies, and that is, I'm pretty sure these ultimates are 1 out of 6. Shatter, I believe it ignores resistance. I'm pretty sure it's the same as Blue Skinny King's ultimate effect. But that is her. I think she's probably the 3rd best unit out of them. Out of these 3, that is. And the 3rd one, VELDORA Tempest, the dragon. Not really spoilers, because if you watch the series or the manga, or read the manga or watch the series anime, he is in like the first episode and chapters. But basically, he's a dragon, and he's actually kind of interesting. He's unknown. The hero is unaffected by skill effects, including ultimate moves. In addition, increase all allies' damage dealt by 10% to every skill with skill effects. So this is kind of broken, this first part of his passive. Basically, does this mean he would ignore the secret technique ultimate effects like Lost Way, Meliodas, and Amelia, and Rupture from Bond if he had buffs up? So I guess that's what that means. So that's kind of broken. And this one, damage dealt to every skill or extra damage. No, it increases all allies' damage dealt by 10% to every skill with skill effects. So if you have maybe like, let's say a Rupture effect, does that mean it does 10% extra damage? If so, then that's pretty good. He has a Blessing, which is interesting. VELDORA Blessing. The hero gets 25% of association hero basic stats if the association hero is a Tempest unit. So, yeah, quick note. All units in the Tensura collaboration are Tempest units. So, all 3 of these units will trigger his passive. And I'm assuming when it means basic stats, you'll get 25% of their HP, defense, and attack. On top of the already 10% if you have a max 6 out of 6, that is, from association stats from basic association. That's really good. His skill 1 inflicts detonate damage equal to 21% of the hero's max HP of all enemies. So this is pretty much the same as Bond's card AoE. The more HP he has, the more damage. Skill 2 taunts enemies and increases HP stats by 60% for 2 turns. That's really cool. So he's a taunt unit. That's good to know. Alright, his ultimate. This effect, though, is honestly the same as Margaret's level 3 card, I think. Or buff card, and it's broken. Increases the damage dealt by 50% and decreases the damage received by 50%. Oh my god. For 3 turns. So if these were to happen, this ultimate's busted. This effect alone. Also, it does damage AoE. Inflicts damage equal to 350% of attack on all enemies. And yeah, there is that. I'm pretty sure these ultimates are 1 out of 6. And again, no, all units in the Tensura collab are Tempest units. So you can trigger his Blessing, I guess you could call it, with either Rimuru or Shion. I don't know if for like the first part in Tensura, if this were to happen, like the first like Rimuru, Benimaru, Milim, if you would trigger his Blessing, because they are also Tensura units. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if that eventually does happen. The collab this slime collab, if that is the case or not. But there you guys have it. That is basically all we have for the beta leaks. So again, keep this in mind. These aren't like concrete. We don't know if these are going to be a thing. They're just like what ifs again, concepts. So take it with a grain of salt. We could be seeing something entirely different from this, but this is just really cool to see that this is in the beta app of the game, and it is a possibility. So there is that. And let me know who you think is the most broken out of all three of them. I think for me, I really like RIMURU because it's basically a buff for AMLE teams, and I really like AMLE, and he needs support because again, he's not really used as often, especially because Margaret's going to be releasing and she's going to dominate the meta for the next month. But yeah, that is basically all we have for the leaks. Again, huge thank you to Regents from his Discord server. But if you don't know basically what they look like, the characters, I guess I'll show you guys. Okay, so RIMURU, of course, we've already had him for the part 1 of the collaboration. Here he is. Look at the absolute lad right here, chilling on his throne. Here he is, right here. Just RIMURU overall, right here. RIMURU Tempest. Nice little slime. And next, I'll show you guys SHION. Let's see. Here she is. Absolute waifu. I mean, yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on now. Of course. There she is. Absolute waifu. Already know. One of the best girls in the series. Yeah, she's my favorite, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, look at that image. I'm not going to pull it up, but yeah. There we go. And then VELDORA, Tempest. He is the dragon. RIMURU's best friend, if you know the lore. And here he is. The dragon. But yeah, that's basically what they look like. And that's all we have for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you did enjoy these leaks. And again, comment down below who do you think is going to be the most broken. That's basically it for me today. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.